What's up, guys? If you're a dog owner and you've always wanted a dog that listens perfectly in any environment, on or off leash, welcome to the most immersive YouTube series for dog training on YouTube. I'm Austin Laramie, owner of Zero to Hero Dog Training, and we are recording every single day, day 1 to day 46 of her whole training experience, from knowing nothing to being a master. This series is going to teach the everyday dog owner how to successfully live and train their dogs to have the best relationship and give their dog the best life possible. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, put on the notification bell. We're posting multiple times a day for the next 46 days. I'll see you there. Woo! Oh. Come on, bye, 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 bye. But I don't teach stay, I teach implied stay. That means when I say sit to a dog, they understand that they have to sit there until I release them. So right now, I just want to work on her sit stay a little bit and build some, leadership and structure for her. And she's very, very distracted by the smells. So I got her on a long leash, get some distance, but I'm just gonna get her in a working mindset, spend a couple minutes just to get her engaged with me. So I have this long leash on, and I just wanna teach dogs to follow me. She's pretty good on a 6-foot leash, we haven't really taught her super good leash walking yet, but she's getting better. But I like to put a dog on a long leash, and here's what I do. I usually will put like 3 cones or 3 objects, and I'll just walk to each object, and I don't say anything to the dog. So when you're doing this, the goal is to say nothing to your dog at all. And you just want to teach your dog to follow you. When a dog is going to be an off-leash dog, this is a precursor to just being around you. So I'll take this long line, and I'm just going to walk. And I'm just going to walk in a triangle. And as she gets ahead of me, I'm just going to walk in a different direction. Start teaching her just to follow me. She doesn't have to walk by my side here. That's not the goal. I just want to start teaching her to follow me. Be completely silent to your dog when you do this. This seems like nothing, but I promise, this is a really powerful exercise. It's very, very underrated. But you see, as I do more turns, she starts to engage with me more, starts to focus on me more, pay more attention to me. But her turning without me having to get to the end of the leash is a result of all the leash walking that we've done over the course of the last 4 days with her. But now I'm gonna get a little farther. I'm just gonna walk. I just want her to follow me, that's it. Good girl. There we go, that's nice, that's nice. Cool, we got her focused. Good girl. That's one of the things that I do, just a little trick, that I might not make a video on. It's not, maybe I will, but cool. So I'm gonna work on her sit stay. So right now, here's the process. You guys missed me teaching her sit because I didn't teach her sit, she already knows it. But again, before I say the word, I get the dog doing the position like 200 times, get them familiar by using a food lure. I put the food, teach them to follow food. I lift up, the head goes up, and the butt usually goes down. Usually. Or I pull down, head goes down, and the body usually goes down, and that'll be your down. But again, before I say commands, I shape the position. So I get the dog into position a lot. So that way when I start adding the command, they're like, oh, I've done this position, now there's a word to it. So again, she already knows sit. Once the dog knows the verbal, that's when I add accountability. You have to add corrections later on, but right now accountability is that leash pressure, right? So if I tell her to sit, she has to do it. I don't care what's going on. And of course I'm gonna be fair to her. Right now I'm not gonna have her around 100 dogs and loud cars and I expect her to sit, but it's nothing going on. We got my dog chilling over there. We're just in the yard. So even though she's sniffing, if I tell her to sit and she doesn't do it within a second, I'm going to say nothing and I'm just going to add leash pressure. Pressure turns on until she sits. Once she sits, pressure turns off and I still reward her. So Piper, sit. Yes. As soon as she sits, I say yes and I run backwards because I'm still teaching her her reward marker. Piper, sit. Yes, good girl. Yeah, good girl. And even though she knows it, I'm still rewarding her for it just because I want her to learn the marker, the word yes and the word good. But I did a little video earlier on the sit stay and now I'm continuing. So I'm going to say sit, good. Instead of saying yes, I say good. That just means I bring her the reward, but she doesn't have to move or anything. So when I say good, my dogs don't move, but she doesn't know it, so she might. But here's what I do. As soon as she gets up, I say leash pressure turns on, then she goes back into sit, leash pressure turns off. I don't reward her for fixing it though, because again, I don't want her to learn that if I just get up and let him fix it, I'll get a reward. I don't want her to make the mistake on purpose. Good. But as she sits here, I'm going to say good, then I'm going to walk back to her. Remember, when you're teaching a dog markers, don't do everything at the same time. I'm not going good. I'm going good, 1, 2, then I move, give her the reward. And all you want to do in the beginning is you don't want to make it too hard. I'm not taking a toy out right now and throwing it, but I'm just walking around her. Good. Boom. Once she fixes it, I say nothing. You could praise your dog though. If your dog breaks it, whatever you did to get your dog to get up, you go back to where you were. So I was right here, she got up. Before she gets her next reward, I gotta make it back to where I was. Good. Then I walk back to her. And again, simply just walking around is enough of a distraction right now for her to get up. Good. And I'm trying to be able to walk all the way around her without her getting up, but I'm going to do it in increments. If she decides to lay down, it's the same thing to me as getting up from the sit. I dropped some food. I'm going to let her get it. All right. Good girl. Okay. And then, of course, you want to build duration, how long she'll stay. But this is how you teach stay without saying the word stay. Good. Now, let's say, the way I teach good, let's say I say good and she gets up. I would say that counteracts the good. Now the reward is canceled and I just go straight to leash pressure. Good. And then, of course, you want to add some releases in there. So now I'm going to release her. But when you release your dog, don't do this. Go all the way out here, then release them. Go back to your dog within petting distance and then go, yes, good girl. And then do a big, big, fast reward. Yeah, there you go. Good girl. Piper, sit. Good. Now, when your dog is pretty good, you have to start adding distractions. And in the beginning, when they're weak, simply, again, walking around them can be a distraction. But now she's pretty good with me walking around. I'll take some food and I'll go like this. Awesome dog. Right? I didn't actually say her release. Awesome dog. Wow. Good. She stayed. Boom. I reward her. So here's what you do. You find something that gets your dog excited enough to break the command. Once they break it, you have to do that over and over until they stay. Then you give them the reward. So her next reward won't come until I was able to do that and she stayed. So I'll do it again. Wow. Wow. Good. And again, I know it looks silly, but seriously, like, just get creative with this. You can do anything. So sometimes even running past a dog, right? So now, right? Her next reward won't come until I can run past her and she stays. Good. Just like that. Now I'll do it again. I'll get a little closer. Sit. And again, I don't say my commands more than once. I say sit. Within a second or two, if she doesn't do it, I go straight to leash pressure. Now, it's okay to say and then say the command again if you want to. Sometimes I just say and go straight to pressure. Sometimes I go pressure, then sit. It's okay. Just make sure you're not repeating commands. Say it once. Good. Good girl. Next time I do it, I'm gonna release her. Because again, you wanna build up duration. So I don't wanna keep her staying too long. Yes, good girl. I'm gonna get a big reward because she wanted to run with me. Yeah, that's a good girl. Piper, sit. Good. And again, when I'm doing my sit, I'm not telling her far away right now. I'm right next to her. You gotta build distance. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some distance. I'm gonna start getting a little farther from her. If she stays wherever I'm at, I'm gonna say good, right where I'm at. I'm gonna walk back to her, I'm gonna give her a reward. If she got up anytime with me coming to her, I would have canceled the reward, I would have said I would have fixed it, and I would have went back to where I was. Good. Just like that. And I reward her. Now I'm gonna release her. Yes! Woo! Yeah, good girl. Good girl. That's awesome. And that is how I start teaching stay. I usually teach stay with the place command first. But again, I do what the dog gives me, right? I don't go with any strict protocol with every single dog I get. Every dog is different. They're gonna give you something new every time. So when she's distracted, here's what I like to do. Because when I'm doing my sessions, I don't do just one thing. I'll work on a couple things. So right now, I'm gonna do the recall exercise that we did earlier. I'm not saying come right now, I'm just using her name. I have her on the long leash, so when I say her name, I'm able to coax her into coming. Oh my goodness, what's up, girl? Hi. So I'm just gonna let her get distracted. Piper! Yes, good girl! The moment she started coming to me, I said yes, and I ran backwards. Good girl. Now she's engaged. Maybe we can actually start teaching some luring right now. Good, good. Introduce some luring to her. Yeah, yeah, good girl. Good girl. Pipe, good girl. Cool, that's good. She wasn't taking food this strongly the last couple of days. Very nice. But I want to actually, Piper, yes, good girl. I'm gonna do a whole video later working on some luring with her and explain to you guys what that is, because it's one of the most fundamental things you can do with a dog. And if I know that she's not even gonna respond when I call her name, I'm not gonna do it without the leash in my hand, because again, the leash is your accountability. Piper, yes, good girl. If she didn't respond, I was just gonna start pulling it a little bit. And then when she came, I was still gonna say yes and reward her. Piper! So now she's, yes, good girl. Thought she was gonna start going to Mateo a little bit, and I was just gonna pull her. Now we're gonna go back to the sit stay, do a couple more reps here. Sit. Perfect, that's what I do. You see I said sit, she didn't do it. Within 2 seconds, I went straight on leash pressure. As soon as she did it, I released the pressure. I actually could have rewarded her too. So now I'm gonna do another pass by. Sit. Because again, right? Just because you do something once doesn't mean the dog knows it. You need to do a lot of reps. Good. Now I'm gonna try to walk all the way around her. Good. Good girl. And now I'm gonna release her. Because again, you don't wanna bore your dog. You want it to be engaging and fun. So now I'm gonna release her. Yes! Come on, Piper. Yeah, yeah, what a good girl. There you go. That's how you successfully reward a dog. Gotta make it fun for them. But my sessions are short. I end them before the dog is bored, so that we build this awesome relationship. I'm gonna do one more recall and we'll call it a session, and I'll let her kind of chillax a little bit. Piper! Yes, good girl. See right there? She didn't respond to me saying Piper. She was sniffing. So I was on the leash. I was just tugging a little bit. And then she came. I said, yes, ran backwards. And then she came all the way. Completed it. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and learn how to give your dog the best life possible.